Perfecto. I'm gonna slow this down to enjoy the animation again. How are you still alive? You still have 1%. What the flip? Hello, internet, and oh my god, don't you just feel joy when you see this thing on your screen? Well, today we have the early access showcase for Tribbie. And disclaimer, as usual, everything is here from the creator experience source, and things are subject to change. And without further ado, let's take a look at the text, and I'll just give it a lowdown on TLDR as well. She is one of the most simplest AoE buffer to use, and there's nothing really too much to really think about when you use her, which is why she's just so good. Look at the big ass apple, it's as big as her head. I'm also kind of disappointed to not see all 3 Tribbies on screen. Is it only just this one? And here we have the Lightcone. This one's gonna be really important for her because it gets her energy. It's gonna get her ult uptime to last forever, which is gonna be really good. And here are the traces. It's pretty much the same thing, but here are all of them if you wanna take a look at them. Here's the talent, and here are the basic. Not to mention the technique as well. Moving on, we have the relics, which we do have the poet set, which we currently already have in game, and the new set in the bone collector set. This one gets you max HP, and if you get 5k or higher, you get crit damage instead. It's really bizarre. And not to mention the poet set is one of the weirdest ones where you decrease your speed, but instead you get 32 crit rate if you reach below 95 speed though. For all those bizarre stat line, you get this in the end. No speed, lower than 95, you got 5k HP, and we have a lot of crit damage, some crit rate here as well. I'll be able to get a lot of crit rate thanks to the poet set, and the reason why I want the bone set for the HP is because if you take a read, she actually is a HP scaler, especially on their ultimate right here, 12% of Tribbie's HP. Like, who would have knew this thing's a HP scaler? Not to mention you want her to do some damage because she's like sort of a sub defense, specifically on the talent as well. You get the follow-up attack, right? Oh, they do appear. Look at that. I don't know who's who, by the way. I just call them Tribbie 1, Tribbie 2, and Tribbie 3. Enough yapping though. Today I'll show you the best Tribbie team of the version right here, which has the Herta. But I'll also show you where she can be versatile and help other DPS as well later on, and compare her to even Robin, which is what I think most of you are wondering about. How good is she compared to Robin, yeah? Now let's first get to know her. You have to make sure you use her technique, which is adorable. And number 2, there's no reason not to, right? And the reason why you want to make sure you use her technique is because of this. Firstly, I'm using her ultimate instantly. But before we even touch that, take a look at Tribbie. She is exceedingly slow because we built her really slow. It's 96 right here, -4, so it's a total 92. And it's thanks to the poet set for sure. And she has nothing to action advance her, unlike a Robin, yeah? So you want to make sure you use your technique, because if you do, you'll be able to gain the luminosity buff for 3 turns, which is basically saying you have the skill effect for 3 turns. And to take a read, luminosity gets you all-time rest penetration by 24%. This is like a run-based skill right here. You get -1 buff duration if she takes a turn, so being slow is really good. Now I'll instantly use the ulti, and I'll slow this down as I explain as well. Firstly, enjoy this animation. It's the happiest one. Look at this. Bang, it looks so smug. But yep, here comes the animation. Looks pretty sick, and you can tell it does some damage there as well. But honestly, with my stat line of 400 crit damage, it's really not that much damage, right? So yep, Tribbie is not gonna be the person that just dunks like 500,000 damage for fun. But after you use your ultimate, you do gain quite a lot of stuff. You have the zone that makes the enemy take more damage. You also gain more HP based on the sum of your allies' HP. And of course, you have a slight Robin effect here. After an ally target attacks, for every 1 hit, you get 1 instance of additional damage from Tribbie. The zone only lasts for 2 turns, and it decreases when she takes a turn. That is why you want her to be slow, right? The last part about her kit will be in the talent. If an ally uses the ultimate, Tribbie will do a follow-up attack, and you can only do it 1 time per character, and it only resets with your ultimate. You got 2 more major traces here, that one of them gets you more damage, and the second one just gets you energy if your ally hits more targets, right? That's why this team is so good for her. Everybody is like an AoE attacker, and with that said, I think I pretty much finished covering her entire kit. It's really exceedingly easy, right? So from this point onwards, it will just be like a spoof showcase. Of course, I'll add on some explanation as well as we go. But here we do have a link shot. I'm using her for the AoE capabilities, but we don't need that right now. And you can tell right there, I just did 1 instance of quantum damage. That is from Tribbie. And as you can probably tell as well, it's not that much at all. Here we have the Herta. We're gonna do the same thing. We're hitting 3 targets. That means we should be able to do 3 instances of quantum damage to the character, to the enemy with the highest HP. Both of which I did there. You can see like on the last proc. And again, it's really not that much. I think it's like about 15k total. And here we do have Tribbie herself. What I will do is do a Q. Will instantly Q in the gosh darn ult from Jade. I think it's kind of a waste though, but whatever. I really clicked that. So boom, 241. And because it's an ultimate, I triggered Tribbie's follow-up attack. That is the effect of her ultimate, right? Every 1 character after using the ult, Tribbie will trigger the follow-up attack and gain a lot of energy because of it. As you can tell as well, like check this out. After this damage right here, Tribbie will go, and the damage is really not that insane, right? Here comes bang, 44k. Hey, it's not nothing, but it's not that crazy either. But let's not forget, she is a supportive character. So the main job is to get luminosity, get that all-time rest pad. On the enemy as well, you get guess who lives here. Damage increases by 30%, and that's her entire gist. You just have to keep on doing this, and that's how you maximize the Tribbie. It's exceedingly easy. And the final tip would be that considering all of her buff duration decreases when she takes a turn, you want to actually make sure you use your ult only during her turn, right? That's how you maximize everything. And here we have the new boss as well, which again, TLDR, you just gotta beat like all the mobs. If you're able to do that, the boss will take more damage as, you know, more and more of his mobs gets defeated. That's kind of just it. It's not that crazy. Here comes Tribbie as well because of my ultimate did 110k there. So you can think of it as like about 20k each. And now that I've done 3 follow-up attacks with the ult's effect, I have to use my ult again later to reset the times that I can use this, right? So after this, even if I use my ult with the Herta right now, I'm not going to be able to use Tribbie's follow-up attack because it's only 1 time per character unless if I use Tribbie's ultimate again. I'm really trying to make it make sense. I hope it does. It's really not that hard though. Here comes the Herta. I'm going to just ruin this guy. And with all that said, we finally took a turn with Tribbie now, and I don't think there's much more to yap about. Here comes Tribbie. During her turn, you can tell her buff duration right here decreases every time she does take a turn. To extend it, just make sure to use it only during her turn so you don't like spend her turn, right? So right now, guess who lives here has 2 turns remaining. I'm gonna go and use a Q. It should still be 2 turns after this, right? Let's go and give it a check right now. I have 2 turns remaining after her own turn. That's how I extend the zone for as long as you can. And by using my ultimate again, if I use any ultimate from my ally, I'll be able to do the whole follow attack from Tribbie as well. Not to mention, do not forget, every time I attack, look at that, that's 10k follow-up into the Fuyu and into even more like additional damage proc, the quantum additional damage from Tribbie, right? So in a sense, she's really similar to Robin, which is why I want to like make a slight comparison with Robin later on. And with all that said, let's just enjoy the performance of this team, right? 300k down right there, follow up with 100k. Back over to Herta, I misclicked, damn it. Oh my god, what's wrong with me? I meant to use my E. Dude, oh man, I wasted so much damage there. Alright, here comes the E. We can finally murder you, man. And whammo, 800k like it's nothing. And now there's only 1 boss left. Tribbie has this, yeah, as you can tell, if it's only 1 person, Tribbie's follow attack doesn't really do too much. Here we have Tribbie's turn again. You want to make sure to use her ult on her turn just to make sure it doesn't like run out. And now I ran out of my luminosity buff, so let's go and get it. It's just such an adorable animation, dude. Now, to get the Herta back, I think there's a chance I could have ended this within this cycle, or maybe not. I don't know. Don't think I can do a 1 cycle. It's probably going to be a 2 in the end no matter what, even if I didn't misclick though. But we'll see. 937k into 15%. Yeah, maybe I could have. Maybe I could have made a 1 cycle clear. Oh, it's too late now though. And with all that said, we're going to finish you off no problem whatsoever. We're going to finish you off a Tribbie, if anything. Perfecto. I'm going to slow this down to enjoy the animation again. But yeah, that is how Tribbie can do in the best Tribbie team of the version. It's gonna be the Herta J Tribbie with, you know, whatever healers, right? 200k to end it up. Yep, there we go. How are you still alive? The reason why Tribbie is best in this slot is because the amount of additional like attacks she can do really does help the Herta, even compared to other supports that we have. You still have 1%. What the flip? All right, we'll end it with Gacha and Herta, and that was a 2 cycle clear, no problem. Could have been 1 cycle, I'm pretty sure, if I like not troll. But that is Tribbie's general performance with the amount of attacks that she can do and how she also buffs Jade as well. Makes her the perfect fit for this team. But the true question is, how good is she compared to, say, a Robin that you already own? Why would you want her if you already have Robin, right? Well, first of all, you can always have a second Robin. And second of all, let's just find out how Tribbie plays in, like, other teams, right? As I already mentioned in my previous video, Tribbie is, like, a really versatile character for sure. And this will be one of the showcase of her versatility. We're using her in the Neglea team. People usually put Robin in here instead of Tribbie, but if you do own a Tribbie, or say you don't own a Robin, you want to put a Tribbie in here, this is what you can expect of her in this team. I will also do a direct comparison by doing both clears. Like, I'll put it on screen as the fight goes by. But now though, we'll like clear this together with a Neglea. Now let's just see how she performs in the Neglea team, and you know, damage wise, how much are we doing? I think I cleared this stage using 2 cycles on both teams, like with Robin or with Tribbie. But to have another character that can perform at a caliber of, say, Robin is pretty damn good, man. I'm telling you. But let's just enjoy the performance of Neglea. I gotta see this. Legitimately my favorite character, dude. Here comes Tribbie's turn. turn. And the best part about her is you just gotta use a Q and not much else. Well, we're gonna use her E or alt, that's it. We're gonna go in and Q in the ultimate right here. Kind of a waste, but I'm not exactly sure. I feel like if I do this, first of all, I get Tribbie with the, follow attack, 70k right there. But yep, I think by doing this, we should be able to zero cycle this no problem. Damage goes in 540k already. You know what? I'm just gonna like maximize the stacks because right now it's 6, right? And I'll put the numbers on screen later with 6 stacks on the Glare and all that. It should be apparent with this final 2 fire mobs here, I believe. But right now, I think we have the best comparison. We got 6 stacks on the Glare. We have only 2 mobs left. Here is how much she can do in terms of damage, right? 381. Now I'm gonna pause right here. I'm gonna put it on screen right now. How much in the exact same scenario did if we would have a Robin instead. You can actually see that we're doing more damage with Tribbie. But well, do remember I don't have 100% crit, so things aren't like exactly 100% accurate and all that. There's also the fact that Robin gets my entire team a whole extra turn in the first wave. So yes, in the end, if you're asking me, if Tribbie's better or if Robin is better, I'll just say they're like about the same part, at least in this team. Right, Robin does better in terms of clearing things faster for sure, in my opinion, because you just get a whole free turn. But Tribbie isn't too far behind because she does have a lot more damage that she can bring to the table herself compared to what Robin can bring for you. But Robin doesn't really technically do damage at all herself. She kind of just sinks there. So in the end, when all the plus minuses are counted, they're both pretty much on par. Like, I think they're kind of just level in this team in terms of just damage amplification though. But just getting that extra turn on Robin, it is a pretty big thing, I won't lie. Let's just continue. Tribbie with the ultimate right here. Adorable. We're gonna just throw in a nuclear bomb casually and cutely. We got 1 turn left of our E, so we just gotta use a Q. Pretty cheap to use in terms of skill points for sure as well. And now we're gonna summon your shenanigans, or maybe not, but I'm gonna just push a Glare, I guess. Now, this will be kind of tough because a Glare might not have enough energy in the end. Do I have enough? I think I might, maybe, and I do not. Darn it. Oh wait, if I'm able to takes a turn here, I think I do. We use an E because I'm rich as heck in terms of skill points. Here comes the memo strike. I should get enough for it. All perfect. That means I can extend my 6 stacks, no problem. Here comes the Q. I think in the end this should still be like a 2 cycle clear. I'm hoping this should 1000% kill. If I can finish you all in this cycle, we're pretty much exactly matching Robin's clear speed. Go and use my E now because I ran out, so everyone get the all-time res pen again. Here comes a Glare. I'm gonna do some damage to this guy, and bueno, 440k, which is pretty much really similar to what a Robin can bring you. I'm not gonna lie. Here comes my final turn. I think I might take 1 extra cycle, which is kind of a shame, no? But then keep in mind, though, my first wave, I did take 1 extra cycle. It should have been a 0 cycle for sure. There was definitely ways to do it. I think Glare was 1 energy away from being able to 0 cycle it, so in the end, it should be a pretty safe 3 cycle, and second time's the charm. Come on now. Can we like finish them off with a Tribbie, dude? There we go. And there we go. That's a 2 cycle clear. And I would say the definitive difference is that Robin gave me a free turn in especially the first wave. So that is the differences that you can take a look at. A few main takeaway here is they're both really good in their respective matters. While Tribbie will not be able to just completely beat out Robin and like her best follow-up Feixiao team, Tribbie can do more than enough to just take her slot if you need her for something else, or if you just don't own her. Not to mention, if you put Tribbie in a dot team and replace Robin's spot, Tribbie will most definitely outperform her, no problem, because Robin doesn't really support dot damage like Tribbie does, just like the elemental pen and damage that will increase on the enemy. So the TLDR is that Tribbie is more versatile overall than Robin, but she cannot just outright overtake Robin and like say her best teams. That does not make her any weaker though, especially in the Herta's team where she is incredibly good, considering she just helps the Herta get ultimate a lot easier. And do remember, she does have a whole gimmick about max HP. Basically with this major trace, you get more HP based on your team's max HP, so there are a lot of future potential for Tribbie, like a really thick team with say Mighty. That is when Tribbie may be able to overtake Robin in certain team comps, but we'll have to see. For now though, she is simply the character that you can use in damn near every team except for super breaks. So should you be pulling for Tribbie? In my opinion, if you're lacking 2 good AoE buffers, 100% you want to pull for Tribbie. She's at the level of like the best AoE buffers anyway, and you really don't want to miss another decent AoE buffer, right? You can most certainly wait for another rerun, but God knows how long that would take. We just had Robin's rerun. And considering the future potential with Tribbie, I think she's a very worthy pull if you're lacking AoE buffers. Now, if you do already own 2 AoE buffers, like say Ranmei and Robin, and you're good, I will say it, I don't think you have to force yourself to go for Tribbie. Of course, if you love her, go for her. You don't need her to clear anything, at least for now. You could pull her for future prospects though, but that is all up to you. And that'll be all. Hope you guys enjoy. I'll be cooking more with Tribbie, and yep, take care.